Number 5. I never really believed in supernatural stuff, but this incident made me believe otherwise. This was about 9 years ago in Samoa. I was playing hide and seek with the other little kids from my mum's village. I was quiet then, so I always followed my older cousin around. It was in the middle of the night and most of the kids were used to hiding anywhere in the dark. I wasn't used to it, as I was only there for the Christmas holidays. I actually lived in Australia. Anyway, we all went to hide. Since we were all hiding in the graveyard, we all found our way around in the light that the church cast onto the graveyard. We all hid in the shadows and waited for the boy. We could all hear the boy coming, so we kept quiet. The boy was pretty loud, so we watched what he was making a fuss about. We had walked into the church as he thought that his brother was hiding there. As he walked in the church, he later told us he saw a boy standing right at front of the altar. He didn't know if it was his brother because the boy's back was turned. He went up and tapped the boy on the shoulder. As soon as he did this, the strange boy disappeared. Our friend fainted. We went home to tell our parents and returned with the boy's parents to find him lying there, dead still. The parents took the boy home and we never played in the graveyard at night again. We later found out the boy's brother had been home the whole time, and he hadn't been to church at all. What really scares us was that the boy who fainted has been ill since the night, and he still hasn't recovered to this day. Whoever it was in the church must have been pretty mad that we kids had disturbed him. Number 4. I had a very unusual visitor on Christmas Day in 2008, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't Santa Claus passing by my house in Bloomington, Indiana. The day started in typical fashion with the opening gifts around the Christmas tree. I served an early Christmas dinner for the family and friends, and everybody departed at 5 p.m, except my sister and brother-in-law who lived with me. They were sleeping in a bedroom at the end of the hall, with the door open. I went into my bedroom with my dog, Toby, and shut the door. I was just dozing off when I heard the latch of my door open. I waited several seconds for my sister or brother-in-law to ask me whatever they came to say, but there was no other sound. It was almost 7 p.m, so my bedroom was pitch black. I had let the lights on in the kitchen and the bathroom, and there was lots of Christmas lights in the living room, so the hallway would have been well lit. I would be able to see whoever was at the door by just lifting my head. So I pushed the blankets down and lifted my head. But just as I would have been able to see who was at the doorway, an extremely bright light hit me right in the eyes. I shielded my eyes and yelled, "Turn out the light! You're blinding me!" The light immediately disappeared, and I heard the bathroom door latch close. My bedroom light is a touch lamp, so I tapped it and looked around the bedroom. There was no one in the bedroom except me and Toby. Toby jumped off the bed and went to the door without showing any signs of alarm. At first I wasn't frightened because Toby is a Dutch Shepherd, well trained to be an excellent watchdog and proven personally protected dog. Since Toby was already up, I decided to go let him outside and see what sis or brother-in-law needed. When I went into the hallway I could see both of them still in bed. I took Toby to the living room to let him outside, and there was nobody there either. So who opened my bedroom door and turned a spotlight on my face? I should let you guys know I'm not really a skittish person, and strange noises or lights wouldn't alarm me, but this situation was just too eerie, and the lights had made my skin crawl. Let me add that the latch on my bedroom door was broken in such a way that the inside door handle must be jiggled for the latch to pop out and engage. It makes a really distinctive sound that I'm used to listening for, because if it doesn't latch, the door swings open. I am absolutely positive that the door was latch closed when I got into bed, just as I'm certain it was the door latch I heard during the incident. When I left the bedroom, the door was latch closed again. I couldn't understand how my sister or brother-in-law could have come into my room and just returned their own bed and crawled under the covers in a few seconds. It took me to reach the hallway, but I figured it had to be one of them, since Toby always barks and growls at anybody and anything he doesn't immediately recognize. When brother-in-law got up to get ready for work that night, I asked him what he wanted earlier the evening when he opened my door. He looked puzzled and said, "I never got up and I certainly never opened your door. I slept soundly the whole time. I was in bed." "Okay then," I asked Sis, "did you want something earlier this evening when you opened my door?" She also looked puzzled and said, "I dozed off and on, but I never got out of bed, and I never saw or heard anything in the hallway." She leaves the bedroom door open all the time, and she faces the hallway so she can see whoever is coming or going through the house. So who was my special Christmas visitor, and how did they get in and out so quickly? Like most people, the thoughts of loved ones are always close at hand, and during the holiday season, when I first went to lie down, I was thinking how happy I was at the small family and enjoyed the pleasant Christmas. But it would have been better if my mother and brother had still been alive to share it with us. I like to think it was my brother's spirit stopping by to say Merry Christmas. I still think you too. I haven't been able to debunk this strange event or find any kind of real-life explanation. I'm half afraid that my heart stopped during my sleep and the light I saw was the bright light people report after near-death experiences. Leave it to me to see the stairway into heaven and ruin my chance to eternal paradise by saying, "Turn out the light." I've made a mental note that if I ever see another bright light to clean up my language, just in case. Number 3. It was Christmas time of 1995 at my aunt's house in North Dakota. Some of my family was in the living room watching television. The kids were playing in the rooms or sleeping, and my uncle and aunt and I were sitting at the table playing a puzzle together. My cousin who worked at the casino would come home around 1 a.m. This night, as she pulled up and was walking towards the house, she looked into the window and saw me sitting at the table. My uncle was sitting across from me and someone standing to the left of me and someone sat in the corner. So she continued to walk into the house thinking nothing of it. When she got in, she said her hellos and put her stuff away and came and joined us at the table. As we were sitting there talking, she looked at me and asked, "Who was standing next to me a few minutes ago, and who was standing in the corner?" I told her, "No one," and she said, "Yeah, there was someone standing next to you. It looked like your mum, and she was playing with your hair." She said this person was running her hands through my hair like a mother does to a child. It kind of freaked me out, being I was probably only 12 at the time. My cousin swears up and down that someone was standing over me rubbing my head and watching me put the puzzle together with my aunt and uncle. And that there was another person standing behind this person. We got around to thinking it was probably her mum she saw. She passed away on her birthday a week before Christmas back in 1992. In my family, we consider our aunts and uncles to just be like our mums and dads, after thinking that it could have been her. It didn't scare me so much. However, we couldn't figure out who the person was standing in the corner, and always around Christmas time something strange happens, and we just think it's her visiting us. Number 2. My parents and I lived in a small home that was around 90 years old. It was a small town in northeast Indiana. The year would have been around 1996. We lived there from the time I was 7 years old to this time I was 19. From the very day they moved in, I felt that I was not alone. At night, I would lie in bed with the intense feeling that I was being watched. One year, around Christmas time, I was having a friend spend the night. The heat had just shut off briefly, and she and I were sitting in the living room watching television when the temperature just dropped suddenly. As I rose up to turn on the heat, the Christmas tree began to shake violently. Ornaments were falling off the tree left and right, and she and I were terrified. We ran upstairs and lay down on my bed. My white cat curled up with us, and the door was open slightly. When I gazed out to the dark hallway, I was horrified to see a tall white figure run down the hall. I turned to my friend and she acknowledged that she had seen the exact same thing. She'd never spent the night ever again. Years passed and things were uneventful. I became severely ill with a chronic illness and was frequently hospitalized. That's when things began again. I began to be able to sense things that no one else could. I once again felt that nagging sensation of being watched. I ignored it this time, and the illness went away. Once again, the activity, if you could call it that, stopped. I then started to see shadow figures. The shadow figures started to vary in size, but they were always human-shaped except for once. One night I was walking out of my room with my cat in my arms, when she growled furiously. That's when I looked down the hall and saw a shadow the size of a large dog run down the hall quickly. We don't own a dog. We had owned one once before I became ill, but we were forced to give it away due to the fact that we could no longer provide it with the proper care that it deserved. My cat growled and growled until the shadow disappeared. As the months went on, I began feeling a dark aura spreading around the place. It was a heavenless and uncomfortable feeling that I could never quite shake. Sometimes I would get frustrated with whatever was there. I would leave a room and would turn off the lights. The light switch would make an audible clicking every time someone turned it on or off. Each time I would shut it off, the click sound would echo, and I would turn around and the light would be back on. Finally, I said in an annoying voice, "Quit playing games. Could you shut the light off, please?" And sure enough, right before my eyes, the light shut off. One time I shut off the lights in my bedroom before I left the house. And when my parents and I came home, my dad said to me, what did I tell you about leaving your lights on?" And I replied, shocked, "But I shut it off when I left." He had nothing to say. Another time I was lying in bed when I heard the audible noise of someone sitting down at my desk chair. Sure enough, when I sat up, there was a visible imprint in the center of the chair. Things would get so bad that sometimes I would be forced to sleep in my parents' bedroom like I was a child. In August 2008, we moved to a new house, far away from the old house. I have not experienced anything abnormal here, and the aura is much lighter. But one night, I went back there to get some of my things, and as I was leaving, I saw a dark figure run across the yard. I drove away and never looked back. Number 1. It was 1961 on Christmas Eve. We were living in Boardman. My bedroom was at the end of the house. I went to sleep on Christmas Eve. I don't know what time it was, but I know it was very late, and I suddenly woke up. I was staring at my bedroom door, which was at the corner of my bed. The door slowly opened, and I squinted my eyes shut, just because I didn't want my mother or father to catch me up this late. There was a nightlight in the hallway, and one behind the dresser in my room, so there was some light. I was so astonished, however, at who opened the bedroom door. I found myself looking at a man dressed in a red suit. He had a white trim around his waist, like fur, a long white beard, and was wearing a Santa hat. He had red pants and black boots. If I close my eyes, I can still see Santa standing in my door. It made such an impression on me. He stood there and looked at me for a few seconds, then closed the door. I pulled the blankets over my head for a while. I was so scared. Finally, I looked out, but no one was there. Next day, I asked my mother if she or my father had been out of bed the previous night. My mother said no. In fact, my sister was only 4 months old, and my mother said she had slept through the night for the first time, and neither of my parents had gotten up. They were tired, and they both slept. So I don't know who or what looked in my bedroom that night. I told my mother I saw Santa, and she got really mad at me and told me that I did not. But I know what I saw. It was Santa Claus, and I swear this did happen. I know I wasn't dreaming. Well guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was my first time making a top 5 scary videos, and I just thought, why not make one for Christmas, because I wanted to make a scary video for a long time, and Christmas came up, and I just wanted to raise awareness about being safe around Christmas, and if anything abnormal happens to you, be sure to get the word out and actually tell someone, because we don't want anything bad happening around here on Christmas. So let someone know, call the police and all that sort of stuff if something happens and all that sort of stuff. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Before you guys go, I want to give a quick shout out to a YouTube channel called Top 15. They make insanely amazing top 15 scary videos. If you haven't seen them or subscribed, go check them out. There's a link in the description below, and go check out their second channel. It's called Chills. They have amazing contests with some really freaking amazing top 15 scary videos that will definitely keep you up at night. So guys, Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you guys in the next video here. Peace.